Craig Parker here, property investor. Just coming at you with another video. Just a little bit of motivation, weekly motivation maybe. Maybe I'll start a weekly motivation video on this channel as well, who knows. But I listen to a lot of people talking about property and why it's a bad time to invest and why the property game's changed and so on and so forth. But you're always going to get naysayers. You're always going to get people that are quite negative towards something that they don't believe that they can achieve. Or maybe they've tried it without the right education and they don't believe they can achieve it because it didn't work out. So for me today, as I'm getting in my car, was really just to say that it's possible still. You got to educate yourself, that's for sure. You got to make sure that, you're working out your return on your investments, as I always go on about. You've also got to make sure that, you're around the right people. You're networking with the right people. You're listening and talking to the right people. People that are successful in property will give you the best advice. People that are not successful in property or have tried and haven't succeeded or try to get their first property, whether it be a residential or a buy-to-let, and there was just so many hoops that they tried to go through and they couldn't achieve it. Those are not the people to be hanging around with and talking to. The ones that are actually doing it, making it happen, they're the people to be around. A lot of people like to say, you need hundreds of thousands of pounds to invest in property. Nope, it's not right. Maybe in certain areas, you might need £100,000 to get yourself a buy-to-let. But for me, I wouldn't even be thinking about things like that, because it's going to be almost impossible to get the return on your investment that you need to, build your wealth and to get a good return on your money that you're putting in. If you're going to buy a house or put a deposit down of £100,000, I don't even know what the rent would need to be to get at least a 15% return on your investment, but it will be high. But there are places in the UK that are up and coming, that are up north. I could start mentioning areas, but I won't do that just yet. I'll keep them a little bit close. If you're interested in them, you can send me a little DM, and then we can connect. We can start networking. Then I can send you some areas that are up and coming, that have good infrastructure, that have good rent returns, that you don't need hundreds of thousands of pounds. You might only need £20,000 or £25,000 for a deposit. So don't let the naysayers make you think that property investing is impossible, or it's a bad idea, or it doesn't work. It works. If you think about, let's play a quick game. If you take, for example, your monthly expenses. So you go through all your monthly expenses, from your gas, your electric, your council tax, your water bill, your Netflix, your Sky, your subscriptions, your rent or your mortgage. The biggest expense on 90% or 95% of you guys watching this video now, the biggest expense will be your rent or your mortgage, which is the house you live in. If it's the rent, it's going to your landlord. If it's the mortgage, then good stuff. You're paying off your mortgage. But that's your biggest expense. So for people to say that property investing is gone and it's not, it doesn't work, it's the number one household biggest expense. Your car. It's more than your car. Yeah? It's the number one household biggest expense. And, to make money, people that make money, not just in property, but in anything, they're usually standing in the way of money, standing in the way of the flow of money. So if you're a landlord and you're renting out one of your properties and you're getting your rent coming in, you're standing in the way of money. Yeah? So don't let the naysayers say that property investing in the UK is dead, because it's not. We just got to get a little bit creative sometimes. Maybe we can't invest in London anymore, but there's loads of places that we can invest in that we can make great returns on. And you know, they always say the best time to invest in property was 10 years ago. And the second best time to invest in property is now. Just let that sink in. If you ask any investor, you know, would you invest it earlier or would you invest it in the time you invested in? And they'd all say they would have invested earlier than what they did. Because, as I've said before in previous videos, historically, property in the UK, as an average, doubles in price over the course of 10 years. So the best time to invest in property was 10 years ago. The second time is now. So that's been another video on Parker's Property Info. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying the content. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. I'm going to keep on sharing with you my property info that I have, my growing knowledge. I'm constantly investing in my education and in property. So I'll share it with you guys on this channel. And until next time, see you again soon.